Hey guys, it's Omer from MMOs.com, and we're going to do a Friday Grindfest video here for Black Desert Online. And I'm joined with...
All time?
And we are going to grind. I actually just re-downloaded and reinstalled Black Desert a few days after it relaunched on Steam, only because it's quite a bit of hype right now for Black Desert Online. I think there's a...
yeah. I actually bought a new copy of the game, despite owning it from before. So it's only $6, which I think is a great price. This game got our game MMORPG of the year last year, and I would recommend it to anybody who has not tried it yet.
I mean, for $6, you can't go wrong. However, as of this video, it's back up to its retail price of $10.
What?
I know, it's $10 now. You gotta pay up full retail price. Or if you can still play the free trial on the official website if you don't want to download it on Steam. But they sold, I think, as of today, came out 300,000 copies of this game since launching on Steam. Which is interesting for two reasons. One, it's a huge-ass number for the first week, right? But second, it proves that Steam Spy is full of shit. Their numbers are so off. Steam Spy said there was 100,000, right?
Really? Even now? Even after that now?
Yes, it's like 105,000 or something on Steam Spy. And then if you look at the numbers from Black Desert, they say themselves, we sold 300,000 copies on Steam. I always knew Steam Spy was full of shit. I knew they undershot the numbers. I mean, they don't know. They're basing off, you know, how many people they see log into the game, right? And not everyone is always logged into the Steam Friends network. I'm not sure how they gather all the data.
I think they do have caveats, like new games are probably off.
Yeah.
But they're not just getting it from people online. I think they are getting it from other data.
Something in the API, probably.
Yeah. I don't know exactly how much is in the API, but it's not just like the Steam chart numbers. But
if for some reason you've been living under a rock and you're seeing Black Desert for the first time, it's a persistent world action MMORPG developed by a Korean company called Pearl Abyss. And it's actually, I'm going to go ahead and say it's quite a bit different. It's definitely a unique game, mainly because you got the fun, fast-paced action combat in a large, persistent world. And it really just doesn't follow the traditional Korean MMORPG mold. Honestly, like, you play this game for the first time, you might not realize it's a Korean MMORPG. It does a lot of things different, you know? It's not like, well, it is grindy, but I feel like that kind of comes with the whole genre nowadays. But it just does a lot different. There's emphasis on crafting and PvP. There's actually almost no endgame raiding. That's one of the biggest caveats with the game, one of the biggest drawbacks. But I mean, it's meant to be played as a PvP game. You're supposed to, you know, take control of the towns and whatnot with your guilds, and it's really popular. And if you never played it, definitely give it a try on the free trial.
Yeah, and what I liked about it especially is I kind of like the world. The towns feel full. There's NPCs walking around. There's plenty of non-combat things to do. There's a whole like resource management, life skills crafting, you know, trading between you can get these little wagons, trading between areas to make money. So there's a lot of non-combat things to do. The questing is optional. The trading and crafting is all optional. So you kind of can play at your own pace. A sandbox, if you will.
Yeah, all the professions and crafting is kind of handled with the game's node and resource management system. You can essentially put your something called contribution points. You get those as you level up to kind of build out your like you can connect these towns, put nodes in them. Oh god, we're gonna die over here. And you know, you can gather resources that way using workers and trade routes. There's a lot of videos on YouTube explaining it. And luckily, it was actually very confusing when the game first launched. But God bless the people that I guess Kakao Games listen, and they actually add these built-in guides to the game on the top right. They have actually video guides built into the game explaining the node system, the crafting, and really any of the mechanics in the game. So if you ever lost, it's way easier now to figure out what the hell's going on than having to Google and YouTube for videos. It's all built into the game now.
Okay, I have one problem with the current version in regards to the node system and all that.
Go ahead.
So, I didn't play since for a while, right? And I played again now after Steam came out. The experience rate is so much higher now. And whether that's a temporary event thing going on, or it's just a new normal, right? I'm not sure.
Well, they had the double experience going on, I think, until Monday.
Okay, so the problem when I made my character during this double experience event, after a long hiatus, is I was moving so quickly from just the main quest, right, and grinding, that I didn't bother to explore each town. So before, your main quest would run out, right? And for a couple levels, or you'd have to do at least a few quests in town if you wanted to, like, not just grind mindlessly for like 2 hours. So the thing is, you kind of had to learn where the NPCs were, what the quests were. Some of those NPCs would send you to do life skills. Some would make you explore the node system. So you would kind of learn by being exposed to it. Now, so far, level 23, I've not even opened a note menu. I haven't done anything with crafting. I haven't done anything with the little conversations with NPCs because I haven't had to. I haven't hit a wall where there's no quest, no mainline quest for me to complete.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the double experience or not, but after I logged in, I gained about 7 levels from 30 to 37 in like an hour and a half just the other day. So I do feel like it took me a lot longer to get from 1 to 30 than it took from 30 to 38. So definitely feels like they sped things up a bit, but that's like kind of the route basically every MMORPG nowadays seems to go. I don't think is there a level cap in this game? I know there's like a soft level cap of 50. Once you hit that, the amount of XP you need to keep leveling beyond that just kind of goes up exponentially.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I do believe that soft cap may have been raised to 60 now because I do see quests. I do see areas like mainline quests over level 50 now. So I think with the expansion and whatnot, I think 60 might be the new 50, as it were.
I'm gonna try killing these trolls. These guys are way too easy and not giving me a lot of experience. And the combat in this game, somebody kind of referred to it as you guys love smashing brain dead mobs in the world. You should try Vindictus sometime, Kek. Yeah, look, the mods in this game are definitely brain dead. I would actually compare the actual core grind. I do want to say it's fun. The combat is fun, but I would kind of compare the core grind to something similar to MapleStory. Monsters are equally brainless, but it does for some reason feel oddly satisfying to just sit back and grind enemies and watch your little XP meter fill up slowly. There's something very satisfying and soothing about the grind. And this game is very grindy, and the fastest way to level up is through a grind, and you'll see lots of people grinding. It kind of proves to me that people don't mind grind at all, as long as it's done in a somewhat fun way. And the attack animations, the skill effects, it all looks really pretty and kind of encourages you to get stronger and keep grinding.
And it's as I was hinting, the way you want to play this game is not limited to what I'm doing right now with grinding. For example, I'm doing my mainline quest, or maybe click O and show all the quests available to you. There's mainline ones, there's non-main ones, there's repeatable quests. So that's another alternative if you want to kind of not just mindless grind, but you can kind of do things at your own pace. In
defense of mindless grind, it is by far the most efficient way to level up in the game. Mindless grind is where it's at, and if you properly gear it, I think people say you can get to max level very quickly, easily in a day of playing. You can not the 24 hours, but like 15-10 hours to get max level if you're got really good gear and know exactly where to grind, and you play with people.
There are reasons to do the quest though, besides experience. Many of them reward things like inventory slots. So if you click O and you go to suggested, let's say, right? There's a category, a folder called inventory expansion.
Yeah.
So these kind of things are important for a variety of reasons. You don't want to just skip them.
That's true.
What I've heard is if you're making an alt and you know everything already, okay, then you can just grind and then do the specific quests that you need to do for the reward. But if you're a new player, I do recommend doing the mainline quest and some of the inventory slot quests and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm doing. I'm being a responsible gamer right now.
One thing that kind of nags me is you can see the items being sold in the auction house at the top middle. Some items are selling for like 430 million, 80 million. The inflation is pretty ridiculous. I think it just seems silly for numbers to be that big in this game. I just kind of wish they took off some zeros in the numbers, and make everything cost a little bit more. But no, the numbers get pretty ginormous.
Yeah, I mean, even a new player, I'm dealing with hundreds of thousands of silver already.
Oh, that's nothing. Yeah, once you start selling your the item upgrade stuff that you're not using, they sell for like 200k plus a pop, and it really aren't that rare. I'm gonna try killing these trolls. I don't think I can kill these very efficiently just yet, though. But they might be able to aggro me. If they're all melee, it's good. You just gotta aggro everything, get a million enemies on you, and just mess them all up.
Oh, baby.
This move looks really cool, too. There's tons of damage. Man, the enemies are really brain dead, though. It is pretty easy to dodge their attacks. Oh, man. So many enemies here. I'm definitely a little too low level for this place, though, but I should be able to kill these still easily.
Oh, and this is a potion spam game, boys. There's a slight cooldown between potion uses, but when you go out to grind or fight, you gotta bring a full stack of potions with you. It's one of those. The
potions do weigh a lot, unfortunately. I can only carry like 150 or so at a time, so they do have weight to them.
They have some oomph to them.
There's some oomph to them. I think money actually weighs stuff in this game too. So if you have too much money on you, you gotta actually convert them to gold bars, and it's like 100k is one gold bar. which it should be like 1 million or something. Maybe there's another unit above that too, though. But you gotta convert the gold bars.
That's something people have been complaining about. You know, you can buy actually a more weight limit by paying cash. So there's a lot of pay for convenience features in this game, and that being one of them.
The biggest controversy with the Cash App, though, is the ability to sell Cash App items in the game store. We've seen my character's lying down. Look how cute I look. The only minor problem with that is the controversy, rather, not the problem. How do I oh god, got myself stuck over here. But you can sell the Cash App items for silver in game, and money is super important in Black Desert because you can use it to upgrade your gear and armor. And the higher your armor upgrades get, I mean, that really determines your strength in the game. You really progress with items once you reach the soft level cap, and being able to get tons of silver gives you chances to keep upgrading your gear. And the strongest characters in the game have the most upgrades in their gear, which means they have the most silver in the game. So you buy Cash App items, you sell them to auction house for money, and you can earn lots of silver that way. And that's, you know, people have been complaining about that, but honestly, so many games do that kind of system now. Maple Story has it, you know, Blade and Souls had it for a long time. And it just, I don't know, I feel like that's not too bad as far as, you know, Cash Apps go.
Yeah, I'd say, look, you know, everyone's gonna complain. You know, some people are always gonna complain, right, about what to pay to win and not. But for $6, I think you can get a lot of fun without paying any more than that $6.
Yeah,
or $10 now. I keep saying 6, but now it's 10. I'm sure it'll be for sale again. This game has had multiple sales, so.
And yeah, the limit to that is you can actually sell only 5 Cash App items per week. So they did actually think about that when they implemented the system. They didn't want people selling too much stuff and getting too strong, so they did put a limit on the Cash App items per week. So it's not like you can get an infinite amount of money. And you know, if you grind properly, you can still earn money too.
If you haven't done so already, eventually, I just want to give people a tour, around one of the towns or cities near you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. Actually, I'm gonna go. Let me go there.
It sounds from chat like a lot of people are either playing or have played this game already, but for those who haven't and are, you know, still deciding, one of my favorite things is like kind of like the atmosphere in town. You know, there's NPCs walking around. There's like some are pushing carts. There's like guards like in line, in formation, like soldiers in formation, NPC soldiers and stuff. So the towns feel alive, and that's kind of, you know, it makes me feel like I'm part of a world rather than just by myself, you know.
Alright, I'm gonna go there after I kill these guys.
For me, it's just a stark contrast to Elder Scrolls Online. I've been playing that, the Morrowind expansion, or chapter, and in that game, I really feel alone. Despite its popularity, and you do see some people running around, when I walk into a town in Black Desert, okay, I'm playing an MMORPG. I can tell. There's people, there's NPCs, there's activity, there's action. In Elder Scrolls, the towns are pretty much me and like one NPC per building. That's it, you know?
Pop Boy says in chat, Trio of Saber Dungeons make me feel like I'm a part of a Russian techno rave party. The game has a very interesting music choice. Sometimes it can feel out of place, but in general, I love the music in Trio of Savior. I actually have it running in the background pretty often as I just do other stuff too. But yeah, ESO does feel empty. I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 a lot. The big difference here, obviously, is the action combat. I think Final Fantasy's weakest aspect would be its core combat. Here, I think the core combat is a lot of the fun in in this game. Just killing enemies feels so satisfying. There's something to it. The grind just feels really rewarding and satisfying. And I think people like grind if you can implement it correctly. I think Maple Story and Black Desert are the games that I think handle grind the best for some reason. There's something about them where just killing enemies in mass feels great.
So someone in chat just asked, so would I not recommend Elder Scrolls Online? And I believe I spoke about this in the podcast last week, but it's worth repeating that of those 2 games that recently launched, or had some sort of relaunch, right? Whether it's an expansion or a Steam launch, I'd say if you're looking for an MMORPG, go to Black Desert. Pick Black Desert. If you're looking for a great like Western RPG like us, then Elder Scrolls is the way to go. Black Desert, the quests, there are quests, like I said, but the story is kind of, you know, just their standard, you know, East Asian garble quest. You know,
garble quest.
There's not much context or meaning or, you know, writing behind the most of the quests here. Whereas in Elder Scrolls, everything is voiced, you know, all the dialogue, and there's a lot of dialogue. There's like, you know, very long chain quests. You feel like you get to know the world. So it's like a single player RPG in that sense. So if that's what you want, an RPG that you know, you can, I guess, do a few dungeons with friends once in a while, go with Elder Scrolls. If you're looking for a MMORPG, go with Black Desert Online.
I'm running back to town right now to look around over there. Actually, the game also gave me a free level, like a free weapon when I logged back in. I'm not sure if that applies to everyone, but I got free +9 berries short sword. So it's pretty nifty. It was better than the crappy weapon I was using earlier, so it sped up my grind quite a bit. Interesting. Bash Bros says BDO is like an old school MMO with great graphics and combat. Yeah, that's a pretty fair comparison, actually.
Yeah, that's a really good. I didn't think about that. That's really good. That's a really good way to put it.
There's a lot of abilities I'm not using either. I'm actually only using my left, right click, Q, and like F once in a while. There's actually so many buttons I can mash for different skills, but I really haven't needed to yet. Though all the mobility, like, the PvP can be really intense because you have a lot of mobility in this game. Almost like Blade and Soul style intense, because like a lot of your attacks follow through, and like if you do do your CCs correctly, like your actual repertoire of skills is super important, and game knowledge plays a big role in PvP too. Knowing what skills to use, when to use them, how to dodge attacks is super important. Though you're not going to be learning too much of that just from doing PvE. PvE experience is, again, somebody mentioned it, just brain dead enemies. But if you want to get good at PvP, you do want to use all your skills, learn how they all work, and practice, because it can get pretty intense. And the late game for Black Desert, you're not going to have any, literally like no raids in this game. This is not, Final Fantasy, World of Warcraft style MMORPG with raids. You're going to be doing PvP for the late game, and just grinding professions. So I'm going to ride my donkey to town. My donkey was just sitting there in a persistent world too. I dropped him off over there.
One issue or complaint I guess I'd have with this game over, for example, Elder Scrolls, right? In Elder Scrolls, there are like very clear areas where you could party with friends, right? To do dungeons as you encounter them. But in this game, I feel, especially with the experience rate increased now, there's really zero reason to party until you get to a pretty high level. Like I got to like 23 in 4 hours, and I know I could do that faster, and I think I can get to 40 in the number 5 hours, let's say, number of hours in my hand here. But so there's really no reason to party if that's if it's that quick. So until you get to those high levels, so that's a kind of a missed opportunity, I think. There's no like clear areas to party.
More importantly, yeah.
EcoBots mentioned MapleStory, the PQ system, right? Imagine this game has some kind of PQ system. That'd be pretty cool. And you could have, maybe instance zones like Vindictus or something in this world. Maybe they'll add something like that later. But right now, there's really no reason to party, unless you're just like a grind party where you all camp in one place for 2 hours and get to max level.
Man, this place looks quite alive, this town I'm in right now. People are holding up all these banners. I believe those banners are for the clan, the guild that controls this town over here, actually. You can see the guards holding those banners too. So it's pretty cool that players can actually control these towns. There's actually shit going down here, I think. There's protesters in here. Is this place getting attacked or something? Let's see. I'm just walking around town here in my character swimsuit, looking mega kawaii. This place was not like this when I was here earlier. What is going on? You can see all these guys. And actually, whoever controls the towns gets like 5% of the tax revenue for all the auction house and the vendor stuff. I think there's a pretty hefty fee for using the auction house in this game, though. It's like 30%, and then 5% more to whoever controls the town. The cities, a lot of these NPCs are here too. Though these aren't players. No, all these NPCs are protesters over here. These guys were not here anyway, so there's some dynamic stuff. There's something going on here.
Something going on.
There's some civil unrest going on here. Maybe just this part of town. Hold on, let me go to the other part of town. How do you go silent 9pixel? When you're in town too, you want to kind of talk to every NPC. There's a by talking to every NPC, you get knowledge of them, and when you get knowledge of them, you can instantly auto path to them easier. If you ever get lost and define what NPC you got to go to, the little NPC button on the top right is useful, but it can only take you to NPCs you've already discovered before. So you definitely want to talk to every NPC. And this, you can see a lot of players running around here too. The game is mega popular right now. Now is the time to play if you never played because of Steam. I think on Steam alone there was about 20k players online earlier. I think there's over 10,000 players online just through Steam, and probably more than that on the regular BDO client. So again, you can just see like how lively these towns look. These are all NPCs over here, but it still looks pretty badass. And you can see their little banner for whoever controls this area. And that's really, I guess, the late game is me just capturing towns and whatnot.
I have a quick question for chat, and then it'd be very useful for me too. So, okay, I know this double experience going on as an event, right? Due to Steam launch and all that, and the weekend. But there are also Olivia servers or channels that also have 100%, experience. So my question is, are those stacking, or is everyone just getting double experience?
If it's stacking, it's mega OP. I don't think it's stacking though, if I had to guess. I gotta keep my characters though.
Come through, chat. Need an answer.
More importantly, do you guys approve of my my ice cream tattoo? Thoughts? Ice cream tattoo, yay or nay? Okay, yeah, they've confirmed XD bonus is the same across all channels. Thanks for the clarification. They're not
no
stacking.
Okay. Okay, that's fair.
I just ditched my horse over here. We're gonna go explore a little bit.
Okay, so we mentioned the pay for convenience with things like weight, and the ability to sell cash up items in the in-game marketplace. Another issue I have, not an issue, but just something worth noting, is if you don't pay, okay, in this game you have to actually keep track of where you put your mount. So when you get off your mount to fight or whatever, you got to go back to your mount.
Yeah.
Okay, wherever you left it in the world, okay, and then you got to stable it, if you want to safe,
And it's in that stable too. You can't just pull it off any stable.
Yes, but there is a cash up item that just like a whistle that you can just summon your mount to you.
Oh, that's mega convenient.
So it's a super convenience item. It's not really, it's not. I don't consider pay to win, but it is a very, very convenient item.
I mean, I'm okay with that because, like in MapleStory, for example, you had those mega teleportation rocks, unbelievably convenient. Lets you open the map and literally teleport anywhere, right? And like, I think I bought one of those before when I played. It was like $5 or something, but like that was like the most useful cash up bot you can have in MapleStory. Lets you get anywhere super easily, but it's whatever,
I believe sunset. I've read that if you want all the convenience items, the game will cost you about $100. That's what that's around the figure I've heard. If you want to have an easy time with that, with the whistle and stuff like that.
Right, you can still enjoy the game without spending any of that.
Yeah. I'm level 24. I have yet to even ride my mount. Like, you do get a free mount early on from a quest line. I haven't even used it. I haven't really had a reason to.
Another quick, yeah, go ahead.
Another quick point. I think I mentioned this during the pregame, but there is only one server per region. So one server for North America, one server for Europe. And there's multiple channels you can switch between. Yes. So people are asking, if you buy the game on Steam, you will be in the same server as everyone else. You can hop around, channels, play with your friends. The only thing is, you cannot move your previous account to Steam. So you can't launch Steam version and log into your existing account. You gotta, if you buy the game, you gotta make a new account for Steam.
Yeah, $100, isn't too bad for an MMO if you're gonna spend a lot of time in it too. I mean, MMOs typically you get more hours out of than most games, especially if you commit to it.
Yeah, and you can spend that 100 in piecemeal as you run across, those necessities. Like for example, me, I've yet to have an inventory weight problem. But if I do, I can spend a few dollars, and then later if I have a mount problem, I can spend a few dollars for the whistle, and so on.
For a second, though, no, we're not sitting together. He's still in Turkey right now, back in Las Vegas.
We are sitting thousands of miles away. But thanks to the power of the internet, it seems like we're next to each other.
If anybody's a good grind spot for me, let me know. I'm level 39, and I need to find a better spot. Nice, Shuneo. The pets in this game auto loot enemies. I feel like that would be super convenient too, because it just like MapleStory, looting can be a literal disaster in this game because you pull a huge wave of enemies. You can kill like 5 to 10 enemies at once, and looting them can all be a big hassle. So yeah, pets do loot enemies in this game, and that is mega convenient. That's why they're OP, exactly. Because manually looting all those guys can be an enormous hassle.
So your comparison to MapleStory from earlier was apt in many ways, not just
the pets,
combat,
the grind. Yeah, and like even the abilities, if you notice, like your attacks that you get for leveling up, but whether it's left click, right click, F, whatever your ability is, there's actually almost no cooldown either. It's you really mash a handful of buttons all the time. you know, your only restrictions is mana for a lot of your abilities. I have one ability too, this giant AoE ability. It's got a 30-second cooldown or so, like 20 second. Beyond that, almost all my abilities are mashable too. And that's very similar to MapleStory's combat too, where everything can be just instantly recast over and over again.
Tasty Toad asked an important question there. So wait, if the NA and the Europe servers are separate, are you guys playing different servers now? The answer is no, we're playing on the same server because when I launched the game, it gave me an option. I could pick to play on either NA or EU server. I picked NA because I'm almost always in America. But the fact that it gives you that option as well is pretty useful, I think. There is slight ping issues I've noticed, but you know that's my choice. I chose to play on the North American server from Europe, but it's pretty playable. I haven't had a big issue yet.
Those ping issues will only be a problem when you're dueling people and doing PvP. Worth noting too, you can actually the game has open PvP as well. Something a lot of newer MMORPGs just don't have. You don't like somebody, they look at you funny, you can just murk them and kill them. There's obviously a penalty for doing so, so you don't really gain anything for it besides if someone's in your grind spot and you don't want to share with them, you can kill them, right? But you can always run back. But it's cool that it lets you do that. You can take the hit and just murk them. It's nice. But when you do PvP though, the ping is obviously gonna matter. I mean, when I was playing Blade and Soul, every little bit of ping mattered in PvP. Or at least I would blame the ping if I died. The looting without 4 pets is unbelievably annoying. Laz playing, yeah, it really is. And the cool thing is a lot of these, even the lower level enemies, they drop pretty useful loot. If you get the stuff that upgrades your armor or weapons, the stuff you get while grinding in the 30s is still pretty useful. This was I remember I was grinding here earlier. This was a nice grind spot, these guys. But these guys are too low level for me now. We just attack all of them, and they're so dense. The mob density is like the most important thing in this game. And that's, again, very similar to MapleStory. A new class launched with Steam as well, so if you've never played, now you get to play that new class, the Striker, if you want to. They did add Steam exclusive channels rather, not servers, because they don't want, I guess, higher level players just PKing them until they can catch up. So there are Steam exclusive servers. Now I'm sure many people who bought the game on Steam on those servers are already max level. I mean, you can do it in a day. There's definitely one of the few games where you can just sit back and grind and enjoy yourself. I find the note stuff and the crafting like more headache. I just want to kick back, grind some enemies on my own, and just turn my brain off. There's something about MapleStory and BDO's combat that lets you turn your brain off and it feels good. You feel like you're getting something done. It makes you feel productive.
Noah Brando, Omar's playing on the from the old launcher. I'm playing on the Steam launcher. But again, there's only one server per region, so we could play together. The only reason we're not on the same screen right now is because we are different levels, so we are in different areas.
Lace Blank says you can actually respec your skills as much as you want to level 56. That's excellent too. Too often in an MMORPG, you're usually very hesitant to just put your skills because you don't want to screw up your character and have to re-roll. Luckily that's not the case here. You can respec your abilities. So that is super nice.
Someone mentioned pets earlier and about the looting, and so far I'm level 24. I've almost never looted monsters, only because it is a headache to kind of go out of my way to loot.
I don't think I've had a proper duel, since I first played when I was level 30, right, before the Steam launch. But the PvP combat is pretty fun on the one-on-one duels. Just being able to run around, dodge enemies, use your skills appropriately. That can be pretty fun. It can also be kind of a button mash too. And you're always kind of mashing the potion button too because of the 3-second cooldown. Oh yeah, there is a day and night cycle too. The video comes out a little bit darker for some reason than my actual on my end. I'm not sure why. But it definitely gets pretty dark. Let me see how it looks on stream real quick. Oh, it's way darker on stream than it is on my end. I really gotta fix that issue. I'm not sure what it is.
Does anyone have a experience with OBS and streaming that? Because it has been a recurring issue.
Yeah, I gotta use. I still have the 6-month. I have the 6-month trial for XSplit. Probably try my luck with that. because it is pretty darn dark, unfortunately.
It's something you did, man. It's not like...
Yo, I reinstalled OBS fresh. I reformatted my PC when I got back to Vegas, so... What could it be? You know, it's a fresh install of OBS.
Do you have the latest graphics drivers?
Yeah. Ultimately, though, guys, if you haven't played BDO, at least get the free trial, all right? And the free trial is, I think, 7 days, unrestricted free trial. No, ain't no bullshit, all right? You can do whatever you want for 7 days. Then you can decide for yourself if you want to buy it. Though, it's definitely one of the biggest launches of the last few years. I mean, the Steam relaunch alone kind of makes it one of the biggest MMORPGs again this year because how many people are playing on Steam. So, just try it. If you don't like it, you know, you can move on. It's a free trial. TrueDPS has excellent advice. Have I tried throwing the PC out the window? Actually, I'm gonna call it here for YouTube only because I want to see if I can fix it afterwards. But it's a fun game, guys, on YouTube. If you never played it again, I strongly recommend.
$10, $6 if it's cheaper on sale. So
it's a free trial if you want to get it on the official website, blackdesert.com.
Nope, get on Steam. Steam's convenient.
It is convenient. I'll give you that.